Hey, Ric-Hard, with this draft going on now, it looks pretty exciting. All these different moves going on, people going from different brands and everything like that. But I wonder who's going to pick Raw Underground.
I mean, I don't know.
Man, nobody wants that
Welcome to TFS Pod, otherwise known as the Few Show Podcast. This is 24/7 Lou, and that's...
It's Ric-Hard.
And that's...
the one-man band.
Yes, and we're still on this brand, the TFS Pod. Number one show on YouTube, number one show in your heart, number one show in your pet's heart. We're taking
That's
over your
good,
pet.
Lou, because we were kind of getting worried there that you might be drafted to that other show.
Whoa, 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 whoa,
Ooh.
No. Well, Smackdown started with the draft show already, with the drafts, and I guess we're gonna have one on Saturday, which is after we recorded this. Oops, cat's out of the bag. And then there's gonna be another one on Raw, right?
It's going to be, it ends on Raw. So, as opposed to how they used to do it, where Raw was where you start the draft and then SmackDown is where it ends. But, okay.
So, as you listen to this stuff, we're talking about what happened for the picks on SmackDown and our speculations on what will happen on the other two drafts.
Yep.
Shows with the drafts, yeah. So we start off with SmackDown. Who did we have go first?
Just to give you a rundown, they settled on the champions, the main event champions. They had McIntyre stay on Raw, Roman's staying on SmackDown, Asuka stays on Raw, Seth Rollins was then the first superstar to really get shifted over.
Wait, what do you guys think about that? Woman, man, what do you think about that?
I expected the champions to stay. I mean, especially with the storylines that they got going on, you know, that to me that was a given. The surprise for me was, you know, if I could say it, the surprise for me was Seth Rollins going to SmackDown. That to me, I actually was a bit surprised because with the storyline that they had going on with the Mysterios and him, but now him going to SmackDown, it seems like they're just cutting that, and it almost seems to me like what they're doing is they're getting ready to possibly, I feel like they're about to turn him face, you know, and perhaps have him go up against Roman at one point. It might even be perhaps WrestleMania.
Interesting. Yeah.
Well, one-man band, hold that thought because you're going to want to know about some other picks that came in down the line.
Very, very true.
Because Rollins' acceptance speech, or like drafts promo afterwards, was essentially along the same lines. He's like, I no longer have to see the Mysterios anymore. They can implode on their own. And then some other stuff happened during the night.
What happened?
So moving down further, you had the Hurt Business is staying on Raw, which means that the U.S. title is staying on Raw.
Okay, good.
And AJ Styles was shifted to Raw also.
Oh, really?
Yep, meaning Styles is no longer at the in the house that he built of SmackDown.
Oh, true.
The face that runs the place?
No, he took that from John Cena. You're right.
Yeah.
Sasha Banks is staying on SmackDown. Naomi is being shifted from SmackDown to Raw. Bianca Belair is going from Raw to SmackDown.
Right.
So they're doing a little bit of a trade-off.
Okay.
There. The women's tag team champions are staying on, so that's Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler. They're staying on Raw. Though it was pointed out that they still have to defend the titles on NXT also.
Oh, good.
Even though
I want to see more of them there. I haven't seen them on there. Have they fought there?
I don't think they have fought there. Bayley and Sasha were one of the few that actually went to NXT to defend the titles. So you're right on that. Ricochet staying on Raw, which means, you know, that push ain't happening.
God.
Someone got a job. Oh.
Meanwhile, speaking of jobbing, Jey Uso's staying on SmackDown, so we know what that's about.
Yeah.
Mandy Rose stays on Raw, and then referring to what One Man Man was saying earlier, Rey Mysterio and Dominic Mysterio were drafted to SmackDown, actually, from Raw.
Mm-hmm.
So that rivalry is going to be continuing a bit.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then they also had the Miz and Morrison get drafted to Raw as a team,
Right. They did. Yeah.
as well as the New Day of Kofi Kingston. Let me put an asterisk there. Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods getting drafted to Raw. So from the looks of it, Raw's getting all the tag teams.
Yeah.
SmackDown, on the other hand, gets to keep Big E. Raw got Dana Brooke, which naturally, Raw has. I think Raw's the winner here because they still keep Dana Brooke and Mandy Rose. So, that's why they're the A show because they got all the greatest A's
Ooh,
on the show. And Otis, unfortunately, doesn't get to be with his girlfriend because he stays on SmackDown. And last but not least, Angel Garza goes to Raw, or stays on Raw.
Oh, really?
that's right.
Yep.
Gods get to
And
women.
those-
Gods get to women, apparently.
Yeah, that should be interesting, actually. Angel Garza, whose character is a loved heartthrob, with all those very, very interesting female wrestlers.
Mm. Good
But
point.
yeah, those were the first 20 draft picks.
Okay. I guess the only thing shocking was Seth Rollins, right?
Oh no. Let's
No.
also. You want to say it or or you want me to say it?
Go ahead.
We did see also there was a match between Jeff Hardy and Matt Riddle versus Miz and Morrison, and then after the match, Matt Riddle and Jeff Hardy were celebrating, and suddenly we hear some music, and we see somebody that has been out for almost a year, Lars Sullivan.
Yep.
Lars Sullivan,
Oh,
The
wow.
freak. the 6'3", 330 machine, and just plowed through Matt Riddle and Jeff Hardy. Just Matt Riddle was giving him kicks. He didn't even feel him. He just grabbed him and just tossed him like a rag doll.
Yeah, I
And-
mean, they would have kept on with his story. It seems like they're picking up right where they left off with him coming out and attacking people. My guess is Lucha House Party wasn't available, so he couldn't pick up exactly where he left off.
That's on Raw.
But maybe they'll do that on Monday. Yeah.
Yeah, so Lars Sullivan coming back was a major surprise because I didn't think he was coming back.
Yeah?
I really didn't think he was coming back.
I could have sworn he might have gotten released, but I guess I was wrong because I was like,
No, I knew that he had this whole issue with, the mental health issues, and then, unfortunately also got
those comments that he made
yeah,
on that.
well,
yeah.
not only those comments, but also, some past things that popped up, some film industry stuff.
What? I didn't know about this. What? He did a
oh,
porn?
Yeah, not only did he do a porn, but he did a porn of the same sex kinds.
Whoa.
Yeah, he did, and it was discovered.
Well, then no wonder WWE couldn't let him go. They were like, oh, can't touch that.
Can't touch that hot potato. So maybe that's the reason why they did keep him. Who knows? But
I think it really comes down to you don't have that many. I mean, they did so many cuts, and you could see that their roster needs people.
yeah.
Lars Sullivan seems like a good fit to wrestle guys like Braun Strowman, your other hosses, and Vince likes his big men, so he's not gonna.
That's true.
He's like, oh wait, no, put him right next to the measuring tape. Yeah, he's good.
Yeah. Case in point, many years ago, if you guys remember Mason Ryan,
Yeah.
he actually, there was a segment that I remember back in like 2011, I want to say, that Vince McMahon was talking to Mason Ryan on camera, and like there was like, the boss man is talking to Mason Ryan. Seems like we've got some big things ahead for him. Never heard from him again.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
All right, so you guys have any speculations of what will happen in the next episodes? of the draft.
So let's talk about certain people that are currently eligible for. Oh, actually, here we go. Here's a list of free agents that have been made available, right? So notice that Tucker was not drafted alongside his partner Otis to remain on SmackDown. So that's looking a little, suspicious, to say the least, because it's pretty apparent that you can draft your teams together. So the fact that they didn't draft them both at the same time might have me thinking they might have Tucker go separately from Otis, which plays right into the trope of Vince McMahon just wanting to build that graveyard of tag teams. Heavy machinery. He's digging that hole, and it says it right there on the on the tombstone. Just heavy machinery, 2019 to 2020.
Yeah. Damn.
Yeah.
That's true.
I see that's that could be a possibility. I just think, like, from these takeaways, I just see, like, Seth Rollins being on SmackDown, and then obviously the Mysterios going to SmackDown as well. I'm pretty sure that feud is going to end pretty soon, and then I believe what will happen is maybe like after Hell in a Cell, or perhaps even after Survivor Series, is when we'll start seeing the program between Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns. I believe we'll start seeing that. And then as far as on the Raw side, with Drew McIntyre and now AJ Styles on Raw, I believe what will happen. I really do think that Randy Orton is gonna win. I think he's gonna win the belt. And then what?
I'm gonna put a counter theory here.
That's cool. But hold on, real quick. I believe either Randy Orton will win, and then that'll set up a program. Yeah, Drew McIntyre will have his rematch, whatever. Could possibly make it to where at WrestleMania it could be a triple threat between Drew McIntyre, Randy Orton, and AJ Styles.
AJ Styles.
Yeah.
I have another name I'd like to throw in there.
Go for it.
So tell me what you think about this, because he's been on SmackDown I feel like he's been on SmackDown for a while now, so it might be time to send him back to Raw, especially to really get him away from people he's wrestled so many times over. Baron Corbin.
Ooh, okay.
Finally getting that redemption push to the main event.
Yeah.
As a heel champion. But the only thing I'm thinking here is, or at least is cannon fodder for McIntyre, maybe. But that's one potential. And then another name that actually is being listed here to be eligible for the draft is, and we mentioned Raw Underground from the beginning, but Daba Kato, who keeps getting those, interesting Raw Underground skits of him beating up people.
Yeah.
So he might actually be drafted at some point too. And you've also got Sheamus and Big E recently wrapped up their feud, so we might see Sheamus get sent to Raw. And finally have the UK connection fight. Because I think Sheamus and McIntyre used to team at some point.
Oh yeah.
Battle of the kicks to the face.
You know what? I would like to see that. Yeah, I would like to see that fight.
Go with that.
Wouldn't be the first time they fought, but it might be the first time they fought on WWE programming. So
Okay.
I'd be interested to see how that goes.
All right.
And let's not forget the ever-present 24/7 champion, R-Truth.
Oh God, that.
I believe he's at reign number 947.
Give or take one.
But who's counting?
Yeah, but who's counting, right?
Yeah.
I think WWE stopped counting too, actually.
I mean,
Man,
at this point,
I had remember we had dreams for that title to be a little more like a hardcore belt.
Yeah,
that's what they needed.
those were more idealistic days. That was precisely a year ago. Almost a year ago. Yeah.
When what?
When we were doing those segments saying, "Oh, the 24/7 title has so much potential. We could do this to fix it, this and that." No, they definitely weren't listening to us on that one.
Sheesh.
I'll tell you one person who does need to be drafted from Raw to SmackDown, though.
Who?
Lana, so that she stops getting put to the announce table.
Right. Oh my God, the blatant punishment.
It doesn't even make sense. It doesn't even make sense at this point. They're just going out there just to do it to her, and I'm like, are we?
Yeah, and we've seen it many times where she's not even part of the brawl. She's fighting whoever the tag team champions are fighting, and then she gets thrown through the table. Wait, what?
Yeah, it's really sad to see. I'm like, damn. It makes me wonder if she's on her way out, because that's some really, really bad punishment there.
You think they might be jobbing her out?
Oh gosh.
They definitely. I mean, she hasn't. I don't think she's won a match in that tag team since Rusev just became Miro. But man, yeah, I'm getting worried there, which is a shame. You know, she's not the best wrestler, but she was clearly putting some effort into her craft. And it looked like Natalya was getting somewhere with that rejuvenation of a tag team. But yeah.
And I do want to mention this too. I want to see if who comes up from NXT to get drafted.
NXT. Let me see the NXT guys who might. Oh well, obviously we brought it up before. I think Undisputed Era. If nobody's gonna get another title shot at Finn Balor, it might be time to bring in Undisputed Era.
Oh my God!
However, put him on SmackDown.
Yeah,
that would make sense.
So that they're not getting involved in that retribution angle.
Oh, retribution and the Hurt Business and all that stuff. Yeah, that's true.
Who are also, for some reason, eligible for the draft.
What the?
Really makes you wonder. Like,
Please.
Wow. My one complaint about the draft is they should have Stephanie McMahon announcing one draft for one show and Adam Pearce announcing the draft picks for SmackDown.
Who?
Oh my God, Adam Postman Pearce.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah. Bray Wyatt's mailman.
The unannounced GM of both shows. Who?
Yeah, he actually does come up on Raw too.
So I don't get it. But yeah,
yeah,
there you go. So those are our speculations, or actually, those are One Man Band and Ric-Hard speculations.
Well, Lou, give us your speculations. What do you think is going to happen? Because right now, actually, we didn't even bring this up. Right now, Raw has 2 tag team titles, and they took most of the tag teams.
So you're trying to tell me that all the tag teams are going to be on Raw because they got to fill up that second hour?
I'm saying, like, what do you think they're going to do with the tag titles? Because right now, the Raw and SmackDown tag team champions are on Raw.
No, I think it'll go back to. I don't think it'll go. Actually, you know what? Now you're making me think about it. That they're going to unify the title now.
Yeah, that's one thing that I had going in my mind. I also suggested that maybe you have the SmackDown tag team champions defend their titles on Raw to another team, and Kofi and Woods just drop the titles again to a team that gets drafted back to SmackDown.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's weird, which would be a crazy coincidence. I mean, that the people who drafted Xavier Woods and Kofi would have drafted them right without knowing that they would become tag team champions.
Yeah, like they didn't even know. What luck,
right? What luck, right? You just obtained the SmackDown tag team champions on Raw.
I'm telling you, creative. You better have something good for us.
But that was strange. And maybe we actually see Peyton Royce and Billie Kay get split up
again.
Well, from the shows, I mean, because they're both still on Raw.
Oh, okay. So really get split up.
Yep.
All right. Well, there you are,
folks.
That's
also potential.
Well, there you are, folks. Those are our predictions and our ideas for what's going on with the draft. Hopefully something good and not the debacle that I feel that we had last year, or last time we had the draft. Yeah, it was last year, where you have the draft and then you have these crazy rules where people jump from show to show and a special rule and a special
wild card.
Wow.
I'm glad that wild card is gone.
I'm telling
Gone, but not forgotten.
If we had wild card here, I'm expecting to hear Jay Few or Bogey pop into one of these shows.
Well, at this point, JFU wants to get drafted onto our show, but we don't. We overruled it.
We want winners on this team.
Ooh.